Did you know the carbon fiber in a single A350, if laid out, could stretch from Paris to New York? This ultralight material helps the A350 burn 25% less fuel than its predecessors, making it not just an engineering marvel but a greener one. Inside this facility, where precision is measured in microns and teamwork spans continents, over 6,000 people work together to build an aircraft designed to fly over 150 million miles in its lifetime. That's like going to the sun and back. Today on The Making, we'll take you inside one of the most advanced manufacturing journeys on Earth. From the fusion of giant fuselage sections to the installation of engines with space launch power, this is where innovation takes flight. This is the story of the Airbus A350, where human ambition soars. You might think a plane this advanced is born under one roof, but the Airbus A350 is more like a giant European group project. Its parts are crafted across the continent, each location specializing like chapters in a well-rehearsed play. The nose and midsection, born in Saint-Nazaire, France. The tail, Hamburg, Germany. Wings stretch out from Broughton in the UK and Bremen. And that sleek horizontal tailplane? From Getafe, Spain. Now imagine coordinating all that across 4,500 suppliers and 12 Airbus sites. It's like throwing a dinner party for 1,000 chefs and still serving the meal hot. Enter the Beluga fleet, Airbus's Sky Whales. Each one hauls up to 47 tons and can carry cargo the size of a small house. With 1,500 cubic meters of space, you could park a basketball court in there. But these belugas aren't just transporters, they're time machines. If something's missing, they'll fetch it from anywhere in Europe within 3 hours. No delays, no excuses. Before this aircraft ever flies, it needs to feel like home, from 35,000 feet up. And that transformation begins right here at Station 59. Unlike most production lines, the A350 doesn't wait to get its interior after the shell is complete. Instead, engineers build the cabin and the aircraft at the same time. It's a bit like lining a jacket while you're still stitching it together, and somehow making it fit perfectly. The first components to move in aren't seats or screens. They're the monuments, the heavyweights of the cabin, lavatories, full-size galleys, and even a hidden rest area for the crew. Yes, you heard that right. Above the galley is a small, insulated loft where off-duty pilots can nap mid-flight. Think of it as a sky-high treehouse, wired for oxygen, fire safety, and silent dreams. And this isn't happening to just one plane. 9 fuselage sections can be outfitted in parallel here. That means 9 teams working in synchronized chaos, like a ballet of torque wrenches and rivet guns. Alongside the structures, wiring snakes in, hundreds of meters of it. The ventilation and airflow systems get their first breath here too, long before any engine turns on. And before any panel is locked in, every section is scanned, ultrasound style, for invisible flaws. Then human hands step in. Inspectors check every beam, every cable, because one misaligned screw could mean real risk later on. Even the lavatory floor gets sealed like a waterproof phone case. And from here, the real assembly begins. There's a point in every build where the scattered pieces finally come together. And for the A350, that moment is called the marriage. But don't think romance. Think 40,000 bolts. Think carbon fiber and calibrated wrists. At Station 50, 3 colossal sections, the nose, mid, and tail, are joined into a single, seamless fuselage. Precision here isn't optional. They align these giants to within 1/10 of a millimeter. That's thinner than a human hair. And what holds it all together? Not robots, human hands. Over 10,000 rivets and bolts installed one by one. Why by hand? Because machines can't feel when something's off. People can. Now, imagine drilling into a material tougher than metal, lighter than aluminum, and immune to corrosion. That's carbon fiber. 53% of the A350 is made of it. But here's the catch. It eats regular tools for breakfast. So Airbus uses diamond-tipped drills, because only diamonds can cut through a structure built to cross oceans. Once the sections are secured, the fuselage is gently set down. 32 tons of engineering, now standing on its own wheels. Still just a body. No wings yet, no engines. But it's rolling, and that changes everything. They call it the cigar. And now, this sleek cylinder glides out of Station 50, ready for its next transformation. Moving between stations might look simple, but behind the scenes, it's an orchestrated ballet of tow vehicles, hangar clearance, safety teams, and timing down to the second. Because in a place where one delay can ripple through an entire assembly line, even a short roll across the tarmac matters. The journey to flight has begun, and the A350 is now in motion. Think of the wings as the soul of the aircraft, the part that doesn't just lift it, but defines how it flies. Now picture this. Each A350 wing stretches over 33 meters, longer than a city bus, and taller than a 4-story building when tipped on its side. Built from millions of components and engineered down to the last bolt. These wings aren't just parts, they're flying architecture. Inside Airbus's Broughton factory in the UK, the largest in the country, it takes nearly 25 days, 500,000 parts, and dozens of technicians to craft just one. First comes the frame, a skeletal structure made of aluminum and carbon fiber ribs, as strong as steel but light enough to float on air. Then, massive skin panels are wrapped over it like armor, each one precision drilled with over 250,000 holes. But here's where it gets even wilder. This wing will eventually carry 4 engines weighing 6 tons each, house 11 separate fuel tanks, and manage 37 kilometers of wiring and pipeline, all while flexing midair like a gymnast riding the wind. Mounting the wing onto the fuselage isn't just a connection. It's a ceremony. It's lowered by crane, aligned to millimeters, and then secured by titanium brackets, the strongest point on the wing. This joint has to survive more than just takeoffs and landings. It has to absorb storms, turbulence, and the constant pressure of cruising 12,000 meters above the Earth. Even after it's bolted in, the wing's shape is checked using laser reflectors and mirrored prisms. A single curve out of place could affect lift, fuel efficiency, or even safety. Because unlike most parts of the aircraft, these wings live in motion. They bend, they flex, they breathe with the sky. And that's what makes the A350 fly. Not just high, but smart. Every giant needs legs. And for the A350, those legs aren't just strong, they're engineered to take a beating. This is the main landing gear, 2 6-wheel assemblies designed to catch over 230 tons of speeding aircraft. The installation is part brute force, part ballet. Every bolt is torqued to spec. Every line, hydraulic, electric, mechanical, connected, tested, and tested again. The gear is bonded, bolted, and fused with a mix of adhesive and raw strength. Why so intense? Because once this plane leaves the ground, this gear will face gravity, heat, wind shear, even hard landings, and still be expected to perform like new. Then comes the moment. A 32-ton fuselage is lowered, millimeter by millimeter, until the gear takes full weight. It's not flying yet, but it's finally rolling like it could. And in this quiet shift, from hovering to grounded, there's a moment of pride only those on the floor truly understand. Here's a question. How do you finish building a house while it's still under construction? That's the magic of the A350 cabin. Even as wings and wheels take shape outside, inside, it's a different world. Calm, controlled, and moving fast. Every wall panel, every bin, every line of lighting goes in mid-assembly. It's not chaos, it's choreography. The air system? It's the quiet hero. With smarter airflow and higher humidity, this plane doesn't just fly. It lets your body forget you're flying. Less dry throat, less jet lag, more comfort, 38,000 feet up. But while the cabin comes to life inside, something just as crucial is happening under the wing. Meet the pylon, the unsung arm that holds the engine in place. Think of it like a wrist joint between the aircraft and its power plant. It's built to handle 50,000 pounds of thrust, plus whatever nature throws mid-flight. Turbulence, crosswinds, sudden climbs, and it has to hold steady every time. Without the pylon, the engines would have nowhere to go. Without the cabin interior, you'd have nowhere to be. There's a moment in every aircraft's life when it stops being just a machine and starts standing on its own. A 100-ton fuselage, fresh from marriage of metal and systems, takes its first steps, so to speak. Not into the sky just yet, but onto its own wheels. For the very first time. The aircraft rolls forward, pushed by hand, as if escorted out of its cradle. To the untrained eye, it's just another step in production, but to the people here, it's personal. They've poured months of effort into this build. Days that stretched, nights that blurred. So when this wide-body beauty finally touches ground, it's like watching your kid ride a bike without training wheels. It might look like just another row of seats going in, but what you're seeing is one of the most customized phases of the entire A350 build. At Station 30, no two aircraft are exactly alike. Here, even comfort has to pass inspection. A jammed recliner in business class? That's a deal breaker. Because when you're charging for a lie-flat bed at 35,000 feet, it better lie flat. While one team installs premium seating, another wires up economy, side by side, like choreography with drills and voltmeters. And yes, they test 180 kilometers of cable. That's more than a skyscraper. Every meter matters. Voltage checks, resistance tests, they make sure the pilot's commands flow without a hiccup. And every critical system, it has a twin, because in aviation, good enough doesn't fly. For the teams here, it's more than seats and circuits. It's making sure your journey feels effortless, from your reading light to the hum of the engine. These aren't your average jet engines. Each one packs 50,000 horsepower, roughly the same as 1,000 cars. But the real beauty? They sip fuel like a hybrid and whisper through the clouds. They're the most efficient turbofans ever built for commercial aviation. Mounting a $32 million engine isn't a job for shaky hands. With just 2 brackets, it's secured to the wing, no more, no less. That's it. The trust falls from there to engineering and gravity. Inside, magic disguised as material science, titanium blades, ceramic coatings, and a combustion chamber that runs hotter than lava, over 2,000 degrees Celsius. Why? Because hotter burn means better efficiency. These engines cut fuel use by about 15%, and emissions right along with it, and they're quiet, really quiet. For a machine that devours over a metric ton of air every second, Trent XWB is so refined it won't even wake a baby below. Every nut, every wire, every torque check complete. From here, the A350 is no longer just a machine, it's a flying ecosystem, wired, powered, and almost ready to soar. Before this jet meets the skies, it meets the brush. Or rather, 5 layers of eco-conscious polyurethane paint. But this isn't hand-rolled color. These spray guns use electrostatic charge, like magnets, so the paint clings perfectly, wasting nothing. Every coat is measured to the micron. Too much adds weight. Too little exposes the structure. It's not about color, it's about balance. With just a few strokes, a blank fuselage transforms into a flying billboard. Each one a moving ambassador for airlines across the globe. And beneath that shine, a shield, lighter, greener, and built to last 30 years at 900 kilometers per hour. Before it can fly, every system has to prove it's ready to soar. From cabin lighting to hydraulic pressure, it's a final sweep. No error too small, no checklist skipped. This stage isn't about building, it's about confirming. Every bolt tight, every sensor responsive, every emergency system armed. Then, the moment shifts. The engineers step back, and the pilots step in. From here on out, this machine isn't just a project, it's an aircraft. Ready for takeoff. Ready for the world. 4.5 months ago, this aircraft was a blueprint. Today, it's ready to rise. Everything's been tested, polished, signed off. Now, the baton passes to the pilots. And what comes next isn't just a flight, it's a first breath. The maiden flight proves every rivet, cable, and system works as one. It's like a tightrope walker stepping out for the very first time. And sprinting. It soars not just on wings, but on the shoulders of thousands. Over 2.5 million parts behaving like one. Back at the factory, eyes are locked on screens. Even after months of work, that first flight still feels like a leap of faith. Once cleared, it's dressed for delivery. This one's headed to China Southern Airlines to join a growing global fleet. Every month, 10 new A350s take off, connecting cities, continents, and lives. From a tangle of wires and rivets to a sleek silhouette in the sky, the Airbus A350 is more than a machine. It's a memory in motion. It's the plane some of us took on our first trip abroad. The one you sat in, peering out the window, chasing a sunset at 38,000 feet. Have you ever flown on an A350? If so, what moment stayed with you? The quiet cabin? The wings flexing mid-flight? Or maybe just the comfort of knowing you were in good hands? Tell us your story in the comments below. And if you love seeing what it takes to bring innovation to life, from mega factories to microscopic precision, subscribe and follow along. We've got more coming, from supersonic dreams to trains that levitate.